Why do broken people find love? While you, the one who healed, worked on yourself, faced your traumas, are still alone? How is it possible that people full of chaos enter relationships so easily, while you, who did everything right, keep waiting? Maybe the answer is not what you think. Maybe life is not rejecting you. Maybe love is being delayed until you become someone capable of holding it. And Carl Jung believed there were signs, invisible psychological signs, that reveal when a person is finally ready for real love. If you recognize these signs in yourself, then what you've been waiting for may already be on its way. There was a version of you who lived off other people's attention. A replied message changed your mood. A late response ruined your night. Someone's approval felt like oxygen. Silence felt like death. You called it love, but it wasn't love. It was emotional dependency. You were handing your worth to people who didn't even know how to take care of it. And every time they dropped it, you broke. But now something has changed. Someone pulls away, and you don't collapse. Someone loses interest, and you don't beg. Someone doesn't see your value, and you let them stay blind. Because now you understand, being rejected by the wrong person is protection, not punishment. And when you stop needing to be chosen, you finally become someone who chooses. And that changes everything. Before, you confused anxiety with chemistry, that knot in your stomach. You called it butterflies, inconsistency. You called it mystery, emotional chaos. You called it passion, but your body knew the truth. Your nervous system was screaming, while your mind was romanticizing danger. Most people never learn this. They chase intensity because calm feels unfamiliar. But pain can feel familiar too, and familiar pain is still pain. Now you've changed. Now when someone drains your energy, you notice. When someone constantly confuses you, you notice. When someone brings peace, stability, safety, you notice that too. And for the first time, you no longer confuse calm with boredom. That means healing is real. There was a time when distance made you desperate. If someone pulled away, you moved closer. If someone got cold, you gave more warmth. If someone gave less, you gave double. You thought persistence was love, but it's not. Persisting with someone unavailable is abandoning yourself. You weren't fighting for love. You were fighting against reality. Now when someone withdraws, you don't chase. You observe. You breathe. And you let them go where they clearly want to go. And if they leave, you keep your dignity. That is rare. Most people would rather lose themselves than lose someone else. But you learned something powerful. Anyone who requires you to chase them is already too expensive. This is deep. Because many people improve externally while secretly hating who they used to be. You remember the version of you who begged, who stayed too long, who accepted crumbs, who cried for people who didn't deserve it. And for years, you judged that version of yourself. You called yourself weak, embarrassing, pathetic. But maturity changes the story. That version of you was not weak. It was wounded. It was trying to receive love with the tools pain had given it, nothing more. And when you understand that, compassion enters. You stop attacking your story. You stop carrying shame. You stop punishing yourself for surviving badly. And when self-hatred leaves, you become dangerous. Because people who forgive themselves stop accepting mistreatment from others. There is a phase of growth where everything is loud. Every boundary is announced. Every lesson becomes a quote. Every improvement gets posted. You need people to see your transformation, because without witnesses, it doesn't feel real. But real growth matures. Now your healing is quiet. Someone crosses a line. You simply step back. No speech, no drama, no explanation. You just move. An old trigger appears. And instead of calling 5 people to analyze it, you regulate yourself in silence. No applause, no audience, no performance. And this matters. Because as long as healing is a performance, you attract spectators. But when healing becomes embodied, you attract something real. Have you noticed it? Some people disappeared. Some plans fell apart. Some doors closed suddenly. Some things you wanted badly never happened. At first it felt unfair. Now it feels different. Now you understand, not everything lost was meant to stay. Some exits are mercy. Some rejections are redirection. Some silence is protection. When your internal standard rises, many old patterns can no longer stay near you, and life begins cleaning the room before something valuable arrives. That's why chaos often comes before alignment. Things shake because they no longer fit. This might be the biggest sign of all. Many people can be alone, but feel abandoned. They distract themselves, scroll endlessly, jump from person to person, stay busy, stay noisy, stay disconnected from themselves. But solitude changed for you. Now silence doesn't scare you. A free night doesn't feel tragic. A weekend alone doesn't feel like failure. You can be with yourself without needing to escape. That means your presence became enough. And when your own presence becomes enough, you stop settling for anyone whose presence feels worse than your own. That standard protects you. Be honest. Many people don't want love. They want rescue. They want someone to fix their loneliness, to heal their insecurity, to distract them from their emptiness, to give meaning to their life. That is too much weight for another human being, and it crushes relationships. But now, you no longer want to be saved. You want to share. You don't need someone to complete you. You want someone who complements a life you are already building. That energy is rare, because need chases, wholeness attracts. So what happens when it finally arrives? Probably not what movies taught you. It may not feel like obsession. It may not feel like anxiety. It may not feel like sleepless nights and emotional chaos. It may feel calm, stable, safe, clear. And because many people are addicted to turbulence, they confuse peace with boredom. Don't make that mistake. Real love doesn't always enter like a storm. Sometimes it enters like oxygen, quietly. And suddenly, you realize you can breathe again. Life was never rewarding broken people and punishing you. You were simply on a different path. Every delay, every disappointment, every person who couldn't love you properly, every lonely night. It wasn't emptiness, it was preparation. You were being shaped into someone who would never again accept fake love. And that takes time. So if you are still alone today, don't assume you are late. Maybe you're becoming valuable. Maybe you're becoming rare. Maybe you're becoming ready. If this video touched something deep inside you, subscribe now. Because here, we don't chase illusions. We build real power. And leave a like. If you finally understand this, being alone doesn't always mean you're losing. Sometimes, it means you finally stopped losing yourself.